Hey Rad, how impressed have you been with Jack Caldwell and Ben Hobbs' performances over the last few weeks?
Yeah, they've been really impressive. We've probably the start of the year out, the mainstays of our midfield included Dylan Shield, Darcy Parish, and Will Setterfield, and in their absence, Caldwell, Hobbs, I'd add Archie Perkins to that mix as well. Have done a really good job for us. So, hopefully in the not too distant future, and hopefully this week, it presents some positive dilemmas for us.
Darcy Parish, is he back in this week?
Yeah, he should be. That's been our sort of loose plan all along, post-bye, and he's done power of work, and it's been a pretty conservative rehab, so he's trained really well through the bye week, and he'll train again today, and we expect to select him tomorrow.
What about Drapes? How crucial is today's session to see how he is?
Yeah, I'm not as positive on Drapes as I am Darcy. I think, like he has been getting out there and playing, but we're just, really concerned that he's a really dynamic player and we want him at his best. And he has been struggling with a niggle, and unless he presents really well and proves that he's 100% right to go, then I think we'll probably err on the side of getting him right. We'd love to have him out there, but again, he's just a really important player for us, and we've been really consistent throughout this year that we want players out there at their best, and that's the same philosophy whether it be Darcy Parish or Nick Cox or Zach Reid, any of those players.
Was it something you were hoping the bye was going to clear up?
Not really. I mean, you're always hopeful, but the advice was that that would be absolute best case scenario, but and it's better, but it's not perfect. So I think this stage of the season we're better off getting it right, as long as that takes. And it's really difficult to give you a time frame on it. It could be next week, could be longer. And the only reason we're vague is because we don't know ourselves.
How's everyone come back from the week off?
Yeah, refreshed and ready to go. And we're like everyone, we're conscious that a lot of teams haven't played well off the bye so far. That's a pattern. Whether it's more of a coincidence than anything underlying, but we know that physically we'll be in better shape, and what we absolutely need to control is our attitude going into training and our attitude going into the game, because there can be a tendency just to still be in that sort of break mode. So we've got to snap out of that today in our main session and train with real intensity and take that into the game.
Is there a bit of unfairness that you've got to play a side that's played the last 2 weeks, whereas you guys haven't? You've had the week off.
Well, Port Adelaide have got a 16-day break before they play us too, so swings and roundabouts.
Dylan Shield, is he up there or is he still?
Again, he fits in that category of, he's better, whether he's perfect or not. And we're just really adamant that, probably for a couple of reasons. I mean, Lucas mentioned Hobbs and Caldwell. Well, we've got players who are doing the job for us really well there. So, we wouldn't take players out of a position where they're playing really well to bring in a less than fit player as good as Dylan Shield is. So, ideally we get all those players back at their best, and I think that's the right way for us to go, that we don't play them until they're absolutely cherry ripe.
I want to talk about Mason Redman's future at the moment. Do you think the bye might have helped him in terms of starting to edge towards making a decision?
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, I've always thought that my role and our role as a club is to provide the best environment for our players and sell the vision. And we're well aware that the free agency presents opportunities for players and sometimes dilemmas in terms of what's best for them. And I totally respect that both Darcy and Mason have got big decisions to make individually, and our job is to make sure that we sell a vision for our club. And I think we've done a pretty good job so far of showing them the track that we're on. We've still got a heap of improvement, a lot of work to do, but I'm not going to go down the path of trying to coerce or emotionally blackmail either of those players into staying at Essendon. They've got to want to stay for the right reasons.
There was a story told on radio this morning that there was a concerted pitch made to Mason Redman that Simon Madden might have been involved. Are you able to talk to that a little bit more? Did that take place?
Yeah, well, he's a famous number 27. And we'd like Redders to reach those heights as in the jumper 27 like Simon Madden did. But it's always interested me, that clubs often make pitches to players from other clubs, but don't sell the vision to their own. So I think that's a really important part of our responsibility to be really explicit about, what is it that we're building here at the Bombers, and what does that look like into the future, and what's his role in that. And I think that's just part of a really important process for us.
Looks like Freo will get John Darcy back this week with Luke Jackson. Do you look to go the two rucks to combat that?
Yeah, we probably preferred that option throughout the year. But our mix has clearly changed now with Peter Wright back. So we do have real flexibility in terms of how we can structure that up. But Fremantle are a very good clearance side. When they play their best, they're pretty dominant in that part of the game. So that usually starts with the ruck option. So fortunately we do have those options available to us, and we'll just have to work out what the best mix is. And the good thing for us this week is I think we're going to have some unlucky players at selection. So depending on the structure we go with, some good players will miss out, unfortunately.
Just on the topic of the logo change that was being put out there, has there been an update on that? Is Essendon looking to change the logo, or what's been the story there?
Yeah, it's not really my part of the business. I mean, I just try and coach the football team. But, again, when I came to Essendon, it was pretty clear, or made clear to me, that as part of the review that the club did, that the club wanted to better connect with its members. And our members, we want to be close to them. We want to understand what really resonates with them and what they connect with. So the piece of work that's being done at the moment is primarily just to engage with our stakeholders, our members, our supporters, our sponsors, what's really important to them. And, what goes without saying is that, the red and black, is really important to them. The red sash is really important to them. Those things aren't changing. The whole process that's being undertaken at the moment, of which it's in its preliminary stages, are just connecting with our stakeholders and finding out what resonates with them. Quite often these things, a little bit of discussion happens and all of a sudden we're changing everything. That's not the case. We're just simply engaging with our members to see what resonates with them as Essendon fans.
Do you expect Fremantle to come out breathing fire after probably not showing up the way they would have liked on the weekend?
Yeah, but no more so than Carlton the week before. No more so than West Coast in Perth after a 100-point loss the week before. That's just the competition. I mean, there's always teams with a lot to play for various reasons, and this is a really important game for us, just as much as it is for Fremantle. So now we expect them to come out firing, and I'm sure they expect the same of us.